for me, I'm just going to go back to the defensive line for the 49ers. I think I'm not saying Chase Young, but I'm saying that entire unit together, Nick Bosa, Chase Young, Kevon Greenlaw, all those guys, they have to come up with some plays. They have to control the line of scrimmage. And I think that's going to be the big game that I'm watching, the game within the game that I'm going to be watching is how much are they going to be able to control the gaps in the run game and how much are they going to be able to put Mahomes in pressure situations without allowing him to run in space, because that's what he's going to look to do. I mean, we all know, I think Patrick Mahomes is probably the most underrated and probably the best scrambler in playoff history. I mean, the way that he runs in pressure situations, and he'll just run a 50-yard run for some dumbass reason, and he gets down the field and it's crazy, but he just does it.
All About the Balls podcast with Mark Davis, Chris Meinhardt, Luke Rule, and Nick the Doc Skirkowitz. It is Super Bowl 58 week. Yes, it's finally here. The Kansas City Chiefs, the San Francisco 49ers, this Sunday in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Mark Davis. This is All About the Balls podcast, and I'm in the Sack House, and I'm joined alongside Luke Rule, Nick the Doc Skirkowitz, and Alan Tomasello. No Chris Meinhardt, no Jake Winnekind. Some unfortunate events happened this week. It's been a hell of a week. But Luke, start us off. How are you feeling just a few short days away going into Super Bowl weekend?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I mean, excited for the game. Not really the game I wanted to happen, but obviously, but should be a good matchup. Niners on paper look way better than the Chiefs, but also playing against Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, so they're very hard to bet against, as they proved over the last 6 years when Mahomes is the starter. They're hard to bet against.
I agree. Doc, how are you feeling? Just a couple short nights away, like I said. How are you feeling going into this wonderful weekend, honestly?
Real good. Patty Mahomes getting all the distractions, so we'll see what happens. I mean, he didn't have enough family shit to deal with. He's now got his dad, but we'll talk about more on that later in the show. And fuck the Chiefs, go Niners.
Alan, how are you feeling? Just a few nights away, like I said, just a few nights. How are you feeling going into Sunday?
Yeah, man. It's Mardi Gras in St. Louis, so I'm about to get fucked up. And then I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl on Sunday, so it's gonna be a good time. And I really don't care who wins, except as a Patriots fan, I always want would be goats and conversations like that to be ended early. So I guess I have to go for the 49ers.
Well, if the Niners win, though, they tie the Patriots for most championships in franchise history.
Do it in 20 years.
That's true. I mean, they've done it. Yeah, it took a little longer. But, yeah, I'm doing pretty good, boys. Just a couple nights away till I'm on a cruise ship, ready to watch Super Bowl on a ship out there in the Bahamas. The weather has been rough out there. Everyone's been, having a hell of a time out there with the wind and the rain, but it's supposed to be cleared up by the time we get out there. So can't wait for that. And before we start this Super Bowl preview, I know Doc and myself, and I know I talked to Riz about it. We lost a legend. I know Luke's a big country boy. I know, Alan, you said that you know who he is, but we did lose Toby Keith over the Monday night. He's had stomach cancer for 6 months, and we just wanted to pay tribute to Toby. And
he said stomach cancer for since 21.
I thought it was 6.
He said something in December 22 about how it was kind of like it was really.
I think he was diagnosed in 21.
Well, I just wanted to pay tribute to the legend. Us military boys.
Put your fucking red solo cup up.
I don't have a red solo cup, but I do have a beer for him. So
I'm the only motherfucker out here. Unbelievable.
I will say, rest in pease, Toby.
I had a drink yesterday. Okay.
I don't want to fucking hear it, Toby. I want to see what you got right now.
I got an empty cup.
He will be missed. He's like said, he's one of the biggest patriots out there when it comes to the military. And me and Al were talking about that before the show. He been out there, the USO. He's been downrange with the boys and the women out there, and he loved his troops. He loved his country. He's a patriot.
Toby Keith was the number one USO supporter. And he did the most trips out there out of any artist in history. So,
no, I listened to Toby all day yesterday, pretty much. It was a Toby morning pretty much all the first half of the day. I kind of finished that by lunchtime. So yeah, it was Toby Keith. Yes, I'm pretty sure he's going to probably be the most played guy on Spotify for the next probably few days.
He's already all of his last 4 albums are already top of the charts on iTunes as well.
Yeah, I've been having him.
I mean, he's got bangers for days. His music's gonna live on forever.
And I was talking to Riz today too. His last song, "Don't Let the Old Man In," that it was fitting. He pretty much wrote that. He knew his time was coming, and he was pretty much telling Jesus in that song, like, "Don't let me go." And Jesus unfortunately did this thing, and Toby's out there with him right now. So, but let's move on, boys. He would want us to talk football, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk the Kansas City Chiefs, the San Francisco 49ers, a rematch of 4 years ago. What storylines, what matchups are we expecting? What ones are we looking forward to the most? I mean, there's so much that we could talk about. Like I said, the rematch, the emotions that Nick Bosa has already spewed out there with the referees and the poor officiating call 4 years ago. You have the Patrick Mahomes. Is he going to try and catch Brady? What are we looking at here, boys? I'll start.
Honestly, I'm looking. I'm looking. There's a lot of talk about Brock Purdy. I'm looking at that matchup against what has been probably one of the most elite defenses in the NFL as of late. Looking to see, a lot of talk about him being MVP and what he's done for this team. Obviously, that 4-interception game against Baltimore kind of shut that down. But looking to see how he can step up in the big moment. He's got another opportunity, kind of shit the bed. They had a 3-game losing streak there at one point in the season. So see how he does in the big pressure situation. First time coming to the big dance, and see. I want to see CMC ball out. I know that. I want to see CMC go off. I might put a bet in, take him for 3 touchdown scores, because if he gets it, fucking great. If not, it is what it is.
I mean, Chris McCaffrey should be the focal point of that offense, with the Niners' rush defense being in the average. They're in the middle of the pack out of there. So
they should rely on. You would hope, but
who's calling plays?
That's the thing. It's Shanahan. That's another storyline. Is Shanahan's ego get out of the way? It's his ego. I mean, what's he going to do?
Well,
so
that's where you get back into it, though. This is the big deal. Is we've seen it all off season or postseason rather. A lot of game plans changing. You know what I mean? Are they going to change it up, or are they going to run with what they know and use CMC the way he's intended to be used? He is a huge weapon, both as a running back, an RB1, and as a receiver out of the backfield. So, what are they going to do here? Is if they go down 7-0 on the first drive, are they going to just try and loft everything up through the air, give up on the run game like we've seen in the postseason? Are they going to change a game plan, or are they going to stick to what they know works and come out in the end?
Yeah, I mean, I expect Shanahan to still. I mean, that's part of the story of its own. Is it's the Chris McCaffrey effect with Shanahan. I mean, the run game 4 years ago was deadly. It carried him through the playoffs. Jimmy G was literally a non-factor against the Vikings, against the Packers in that run that they had in the 2019 playoff run they had. And then this year it's been more Brock Purdy with a mixture of Chris McCaffrey towards the end of the game. But the Lions and Packers, they weren't good run defenses already, and they still avoided McCaffrey early on. And I get it. The Chiefs are in the middle of the pack. They're better than the Packers. They're better than the Lions. I mean, like I said, they're average. So I think that this defense, pass defense, and hitting the quarterback is better than the Lions and Packers. So Shanahan needs to put that ego aside, because he's got the most pressure, in my opinion, this whole Super Bowl. And he needs to trust McCaffrey. He needs to trust that to open the play action. And then just let Purdy do his thing off the play action. That's all you need to do. And then let him respect McCaffrey enough to crowd the boxes, and you have more one-on-ones out there with his receivers and tight end.
Yeah, I think that one matchup to look up is the San Francisco's defensive line against Patrick Mahomes. San Francisco only blitzes 18%. That's third lowest in the league as far as blitz percentage for the entire year. And they still get pressure. They weren't really high on hurries and pressures statistically, but teams were running the ball better on them. So that was another thing that they were doing to try to keep people off of them. The defenses are actually kind of opposite, where the 49ers have a good run defense and a shoddy pass defense. You can get the ball deep on them. But on the flip side, the Chiefs give up they're 18th in the league in rushing yards allowed, and they're third in the league in passing defense. So do we look at those different metrics and we look at where they're at? I think that the big difference in this game is going to come from, can the San Francisco 49ers get pressure on Patrick Mahomes with their defensive linemen, their 4 down linemen, while also being able to put a spy on him to keep him from making plays and beating him with his feet.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough to control Patrick Mahomes, especially. I don't know if Chase Young is going to step up this game, put some effort into it. I don't know if he's been chilling the last couple of weeks. But, I mean, they have a tough test with Mahomes, especially like that pass defense. Like, Mahomes, if he's got time in the pocket, he can just light them up on, even with his shitty receivers. I mean, but if they put Kelsey in space, like, if they don't figure out a way to, like, man Kelsey, double man Kelsey, he's just going to find the open space in the zones and just sit there. And Mahomes is going to hit him all day like they did the Ravens. Kelsey's the master. Like, he doesn't run routes. He just runs and finds open zones, like, and fucking gets the ball.
That's one of my matchups there, Luke, or storylines I'm looking forward to is outside Travis Kelce. Which weapon? That includes Pacheco. I know that they run him like a dog, but which weapon outside Travis Kelce is going to step up? Is that going to be Rice, who he's been used the second half of the season pretty well? MVS, Hardman. I mean, you have Sky Moore's coming off injury. Is he going to play? Kadarius Toney's been practicing. Can he step up and make some plays like he did last year in the Super Bowl? Which guy outside Travis Kelce is going to be that guy for Mahomes? If Mahomes is covered, you have Watson, who occasionally has a big game. Noah Gray out there as a backup tight end. He makes some catches out there too. So is it going to be just Travis Kelce, Mahomes connection, or do we see a second, potentially third guy? I think Pacheco's huge. I think they need to just fucking use Pacheco. I mean, we saw that the Lions and the Packers running the ball pretty well on the 49ers. I think Pacheco can do it. He runs hard, he runs physical, and he gets involved in the passing game too. So it's not Christian McCaffrey, but he's Christian McCaffrey-like, as in like he's used to that kind of like ability where he can catch the ball out of the backfield and run hard. So I want to see which guy outside number 87 is going to step up for Patrick Mahomes and this Kansas City Chiefs team, because Mahomes can make things work, but it's a Super Bowl, so which guy is going to step up this year like they did last year?
When you look at the advanced stats for the season, I mean, Kansas City is number 1 in the league in yak. So they do a lot of short passes. They're doing a lot of things that are trying to get their guys in space to be able to make passes, to make plays with those catches. And Rashee Rice is really big on that. And that's what a lot of he's done in the playoffs. They haven't been throwing the ball deep to him. They haven't been even getting him really involved in intermediate. It's that short to medium range where he's able to eat up and then get extra plays off of that. But on the flip side of that too, we look at San Francisco 49ers, and they were 4th in the league in yards after contact in rushing plays, where the Kansas City Chiefs are bottom 3 in the league, only 611 yards after contact in rushing plays. So who's going to control the gaps on the defensive line? I think this game, there's all these different guys. There's all these big stars in this game. There's skill players all across the board. We want to talk about Isaiah Pacheco being this next guy up, but you got Rashee Rice, and you got Travis Kelce, you got Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, you got Brandon Ayuk. You got all of these stars on the field, right? But this game is going to be won in the trenches.
I agree. That's the thing is I think it's gonna be a heavy dose of running the ball. I really do. I think Reed, he's not a big guy that loves to run the ball in his history, but he knows it's working. I get it. Pacheco didn't have a lot of big yards last time against the Ravens, but those were big runs that he had, though. I get it. It was only like 3 yards a carry, but those were still big yards. Like, he was chewing up the clock. That's what they were doing, and they got the early lead. And I still think if someone goes up 14-0 in this game, the other team's not coming back. I don't think the Chiefs are equipped to come back in this type of season they have, and I don't think the Niners can come back on the Chiefs because Mahomes won't allow it. And this offense and that defense is pretty good. That's the problem. So which team runs the ball? Which team gets the ball first, too? Because most teams like to defer, but this is a team. These teams trust their defense. So who gets the ball first, who makes that statement? That's key, too.
I think that if the 49ers come out and make the running game a priority, they come out and try to bully them up, I think that they can take advantage of this game. You get Deebo Samuel on the outside, you get Christian McCaffrey inside the tackles, and who was it? Was it you, Luke, that was talking about a 3.5 yard prop bet for Eli Mitchell? Like, I can see them just getting guys in and just you're gonna see them try to establish the run to take advantage of the game. And Chris Jones is a great defensive tackle, but he's really known for what he can do in the passing game and knocking down passes, getting pressure on quarterbacks, all that stuff. He is a good run defender, but he's the only guy on that team. And I think that the Niners have the decided advantage there. But what I would say is that I can see the script going, at least the way that this game unfolds. Kansas City can get out ahead. I don't subscribe to the theory that the Niners can't come back, that Mahomes won't let them happen, because I think that we saw a tale of two halves last week between the two teams. And the first half against the Ravens for the Kansas City Chiefs was the perfect game plan, but they got shut down. They couldn't do anything in the second half.
But they only allowed 3 points in the second half.
Hey, that was defense, right? But then you saw on the other side of the game, you saw the other game, and you saw the 49ers explode in the second half. And you see them get down 2 weeks in a row. They got down, and Brock Purdy is the difference maker for what this San Francisco 49ers team is to what Kyle Shanahan's career has been. That's what I would say.
But I agree with you there. But the problem is the Lions and the Packers defense, they're nowhere near the Chiefs defense when it comes to covering guys, stopping the run, getting hit to pressure the quarterback. That's the problem. Is like we saw Lamar and the offense struggle there, and they were the most electrifying offenses all season long, including in that Texans game. They shut down Lamar 3 points in the second half. They allow an average was 7 points coming into that game all year in the second half. So if they're down 14, 17 points like they were against the Lions and then the Packers, well, Packers weren't really down much, but they were down. They are going to have a hard time coming back. And I get it, Mahomes didn't score in the second half, but guess what? They did throw a deep pass, and they could have scored if they had more time. They got only like the 25-yard line on the Ravens sideline at the end of the game. If they really wanted to, they probably could have scored if it had to.
I just see this year they've had that happen so many times, and at some point it's gonna catch up to you. You don't always get that game, and it's happened so many times where they've been up, and then in the second half they just can't score, but they hold on defensively. And the Niners are not the team to do that with, because the Niners have so many skilled guys everywhere. It makes it tough, and I don't know if they can actually hold somebody down the Niners down for an entire half.
No, I agree there. I mean, I think that. I think another thing, boys, we need to be watching, like I said, is the emotions. Like I mentioned 4 years ago, right? We mentioned Nick Bosa. He got held a lot. That's what Jake says. That's what he says. I mean, Nick Bosa came out a couple days ago or whatever last week, said they hold a lot. Well, that's 4 years ago they hold a lot. This is a new offensive line. George Kittle was very emotional after the game. He said he's going to be back there. He's going to do whatever it takes to win. We saw Travis Kelce get in the Ravens' head, and Luke will attest to that. The Ravens beat themselves partially with that. Do not let Travis Kelce, do not let the Chiefs team get in your head. Do not let them, don't play their hand. Don't sit here and fool, because you know they're going to bring shit up. You know they're going to get a little bait. They're going to throw the bait out there for the 49ers to beat themselves up. I think Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, the guys that played on this team 4 years ago, they need to control that emotion, because emotions run high in the Super Bowl, and you do not want to have a 15-yard penalty that gives the Chiefs an extra first down and a cheap first down, and then all of a sudden now you're wasting another 4 minutes off the clock right there. So the Niners need to be able to make sure they don't beat themselves.
Yeah. I mean, all the pressure's on the Niners in this game. Like, the Chiefs lose, okay, so what? I mean, they've been here a lot. So Mahomes already has 2 rings. Like, so what? But the Niners lose again. Like, they just can't finish the season. Like, it just won't happen. Like, they've been, this is their 3rd Super Bowl without winning in a row if they lose this one. So, I mean,
yeah,
all the pressure's on them. And the Chiefs have been, like, every week in the playoffs, they've except the first game against Miami, the Chiefs have been on the underdog, so like they're playing with house money. So like, I mean, everybody, like, all the pressure is on the Bills for the Bills Chiefs game, and all the pressure is on the Ravens for the Ravens Chiefs game. So I mean, all the pressure is on the Niners for this game too. Like, if the Chiefs lose, like, it doesn't really affect like their legacy that much. I mean, yeah, they get the dynasty and all that. They get their 2 back-to-back wins and 3 Super Bowls in 5 years or whatever it is.
5 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, they get that going for them. But Mahomes has been here. You can pretty much write him in the AFC Championship game every year at this point. Like, this is the year we all thought the Chiefs didn't really have a chance of, like, really making the AFC Championship. And they got hot at the right time. And you get Patrick Mahomes, he's like Joe Flacco in the playoffs. You know, he doesn't lose.
Well, you mentioned pressure, and that's what I like. and that's why I dig deeper. The pressure, yes, on the 49ers. I completely agree with you, Luke. And I've been saying it. I've been saying it for the last year or two. The pressure is on Kyle Shanahan. It's out of every 49er on that is the coach, a player. The most pressure is on the head coach because we saw it with the Falcons. Unfortunately, he was part of that 28-3 collapse, and I blame a lot of that on him and Dan Quinn. I get the players got to execute, but it was what he did. He abandoned the run early on in the second half because they got shut down a couple times against the Patriots defense. I don't give a shit if you're getting shut down a lot. Run the fucking ball. I mean, I get it. You want to still attack, but when you're up that many points, you're up fucking 4 scores. Run the ball, waste the clock. You're playing against Tom Brady. Against the Chiefs the first time, he put the game in Jimmy G's hand. Yeah, I know people say Emmanuel Sanders slowed down. It was still an overthrow. Why are you throwing the ball? You're up 10 points over Patrick Mahomes, the next up-and-coming quarterback that we are all, kind of crowning him one of the premature GOATs, but he's still an all-time great already. So why are you doing that? Why are you giving Patrick Mahomes an opportunity to come back in the game? I know you're trying to win the game, but it's sometimes you just got to put your ego aside and you got to do what got you there, and that's run the ball. And I'm excited to see Shanahan. I want to see him. I want to see how his brain's working. I want to see him on the sideline, pacing back and forth. I want to see what he draws up because my eyes are on Kyle Shanahan. He needs to get a ring before this contract's up in the next 4 or 5 years, and it starts now. All the pressure's on the Niners. This is their Super Bowl to win. The Chiefs aren't supposed to be there, and they're there. So they were supposed to be there from the start. So Shanahan better figure it out. That's all I have to say because he's going to be getting a lot of heat if he can't finish this game or if he fucks up doing something stupid.
Yeah, but I do think that there is some unnecessary pressure being put on the Chiefs, and that is, trying to compare them. Are they worried right now about winning this game, or are they worried right now about matching the Patriots and getting into that GOAT talk? Because they're getting those questions a lot. And it's been a topic of conversation. That's all that's on sports media right now. Everybody wants to talk about Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, where he ranks in the GOAT conversation. And if he wins this one, this is where he'll be at. We talked about it on the show. You watch all these different podcast shows and sports shows. They're talking about that. So is the Chiefs' head in this game, or are they somewhere else? I think that it's going to be here. I think that's where their head's going to be at. But I do think that there is a little bit of pressure on the Chiefs in this game, and that is because they're supposed to win now. They've been here. They're the champs. Yes, the 49ers have to win, right? But now everybody in the world is looking at the Chiefs like, well, this is what you're supposed to do now. You're just supposed to win these games. So there is a little bit of pressure on them.
I think Dynasty, yes, the pressure's on if they want to have because to me they don't have a Dynasty yet. Dynasty in the terms of sports Dynasty is 3 championships in a certain amount of time frame. And this, yes, would be a Dynasty if they win. They've come close to a Dynasty. If they would have beat the Bucs, yes, they would have been a Dynasty by now. But yes, winning this, Mahomes winning is going to, kind of launch him to that conversation of, hey, the first 7 seasons of Brady and Mahomes' career, they have the same amount of rings, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff's there. But I don't think Mahomes cares about that. I don't think Andy Reid cares. I think they only care about this game here. I think Mahomes just wants to be the best of all time, but he doesn't care at this moment coming into this game. I think he's strictly focused on Nick Bosa, Fred Warner. You got Ward out there. I think he's focused on what's out in front of him, and that's the 49ers defense. He's not caring about Tom Brady. Tom Brady did his thing, and he respects it, but I don't think he's worried about that right now. He's worried about winning in the moment, my opinion at least.
Yeah, I mean, from all the interviews, the Chiefs team seems pretty locked in at this point. They're not talking about the future; they're just talking about this game. So I mean, that's the way it is. I mean, you see they seem pretty. Most of them seem pretty calm about it, except Travis Kelce. I mean, he's pretty fired up. But.
Yeah, I mean, I do see a little bit of cockiness out of them too. Travis Kelce specifically out here shouting to the fans "Oh yeah, bring it! This is what I want. This is what I want." I mean, come on.
That's how he's always been though.
Yeah,
it's just the whole playoffs. He's been doing that.
But it's just now in the spotlight because now they've won so many times. Now you see it. So it's like that. It's like we all, not you because you're a Patriots fan, but the rest of us, all 3 of us besides you, Luke will say it. We all want the Chiefs to win Super Bowls in the last few years, but now they're the villains because they've been there too much. Now we want something fresh because now they're the enemy. So
I think
now,
they're the villains because their face is all over every damn commercial every 15 seconds. I mean,
Because
they're
they're
just
winning.
getting annoying at this point. Like the
Because
they're
Patriots weren't
winning.
this annoying.
It-
The
Oh no,
Patriots,
no, they were.
no,
Not to you,
the
they weren't. Not
Patriots,
to you, they
they
weren't.
were not all over
Yes, they.
every commercial.
Yes,
They
they
didn't
were.
have every single 5-minute spot that came up. They weren't all over everything. They were
But
the
Brady
quiet
wasn't.
franchise.
But Brady wasn't the kind of guy. I mean, yes, he was winning, but he wasn't the type of personality he was until about the undefeated season, where he started showing that personality, how fired up he can get. Early on in his career, yeah, he was winning 3 Super Bowls. I'll give him that. He won his 3 championships, and I respect it. But he was not the personality that Mahomes is at this early in his career, and you can agree
No,
with
I
that.
mean, I
He was
agree
not-
with that. I agree with that.
That's the difference.
100%.
But the second time, well, once they start going undefeated, then you saw them all over fucking social media. Then you started seeing, well, not social media then, but
that was
the media itself.
2007. Yeah, there wasn't no social media then.
But still, like, that's what we are with the
They
Chiefs
were on-
now, because
They were on MySpace.
It's also a different era when the
Hey, man.
Patriots are doing
Hey,
it.
man.
It's
Leave
different now.
MySpace alone, dude. Me, I'm on MySpace, man.
I will
You
say
had one of
it
them
was-
rocking MySpaces, huh, Doc? He had the music on the background as soon as you went to the page.
Bro, all the music, all the videos. I remember my favorite video on that shit was back when it just came
shit.
out was Family Guy's "Where's My Money?" When
Oh,
Stu
yeah.
went at the line for the money. Yeah, that was like my number one video on that shit.
But I mean, that's just the
Now-
personality of Kelsey and Mahomes. They've always been that way, even when they were like early on playing together. That's their personality. I mean, it's just now we're seeing a
Yeah.
different light because they are the villain in everyone's eyes.
I will say it's really painful to watch Mahomes and Kelsey cook your team, then watch 3 commercials in a row right after Kelsey scores a
That's what I'm
touchdown.
saying.
Like that's kind of it hurts even more. Like you can't even get a commercial break without seeing these dudes.
Exactly. I don't want to see the model commercial.
It'd been different if the Ravens were fucking blowing them out. Then you see a Kelsey commercial, but once Kelsey's beating you, and then you see his commercial 2 times in a row. Like, fuck, like, it's annoying.
Yeah, they did that shit
Dude,
on
that
purpose,
fucking Mahomes and
assholes.
Motto shit, bro.
Motto, man. Yeah.
Well, remember, he's the new State Farm guy. He took over
Right.
Rodgers' spot.
I guarantee you'll see Mahomes and Kelsey in commercials during the Super Bowl too.
Oh yeah,
Guarantee it.
100%.
And I'm telling you, if Kelsey and them win this Super Bowl, Travis is not retiring. I'm sorry, he's not retiring. He is enjoying what he's doing with Patrick Mahomes. Because remember, his first half of his career, he was playing with other quarterbacks like Alex Smith and other guys like that. So now he's with Patrick Mahomes, and they're BFFs. They are Tom Brady and Gronk, as in like that type of friendship, that relationship. They are that. They are like literally BFFs. So I don't see him retiring. I get it. We're not going to talk about her, but he's with a billionaire. Get it. But I don't see him retiring. I see Jason retiring, but I don't see Trav going out yet, especially if they win. I think he has another 1 or 2 left in him.
I think he definitely considers it though. I definitely,
Yeah.
it's definitely my because you can see you can kind of see how these players as they're getting closer to retirement, how they're more in the media, they're more setting up like their next career, and it kind of seems like that's what Jason Kelsey and Travis Kelsey are doing with like their podcast.
Yeah.
They're showing up on like Pat McAfee's show. Same thing that Nick Saban did the same thing this year. Like his last season with Alabama, he was showing up on podcast.
I've said that
show.
Trav thinks that Jason might stick around. He literally said that. He said that he thinks that Jason's coming back. I mean,
I think that
the
Travis
team
is
have. It might depend on like the players coming back and what happens to free agency if he stays or goes.
I think Trav wants to get to 4. I think he wants to. I think when you're talking legacy, I get it. Mahomes is going to try and go for 7. I think Trav wants to get to 4. I think he wants to get to Gronk. I think because he'll have the stats and he'll have the same amount of rings. I think Travis wants to be the GOAT. He's not going to say it, but I personally think he wants to get to 4 rings. That's what he wants to do.
I think that, and I'm a Gronk guy. I'm a Patriots guy, but I think that Travis Kelsey has already made it there. He's already the all-time leading catcher in the playoffs. Touchdowns, receptions, yards in the playoffs. That's a big deal. He is the catalyst for their passing game in that offense. He always has been. Even when Tyreek Hill was there, it was always you had to shut down Travis Kelsey because he was going to eat you up on the inside. You could take away Tyreek Hill down the field, but you had to take away Travis Kelsey. And no matter what, you see what they're doing right now. He is the catalyst for that passing game other than Patrick Mahomes. So I think that he's firmly entrenched, at least in the conversation, and is at least there as far as I think that he is the GOAT. I love me some Gronk. There's some unbelievable plays, man. I watched a TikTok the other day. It was a 5-part series of just unbelievable Gronk plays of him just doing
Oh,
fucking
Gronk was a
Gronk
beast.
shit, right?
Gronk was a man. I'll give him
Yeah,
that. I love Gronk.
but
Not a Patriots guy, but I love Gronk, dude. That was a
he's
man right there.
he's a big dude doing
he
that shit
is.
too.
But I
He
And
was
he's
huge.
very fortunate that Aaron Hernandez had his shit because Aaron Hernandez might have been
Hey
that
man,
tight
Aaron
end that was
Hernandez
with
was a
Brady.
legend.
okay,
Well, I
all
mean,
right. It's
Can't,
he was
down there.
crazy
good, though.
The same, like him and Gronk were on the same team at the same time.
Yeah.
drafted the
Like,
same year, I think,
can you
too.
can you imagine if like they both stayed on that team with the
Oh
Patriots?
man, it would have been
I
crazy.
think one would have left. I think one would have been gone because you're not gonna pay. You can't pay two tight ends probably.
Kind of like what the Ravens did when they drafted Mark Andrews and Hayden Hurst same year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we had to let
Hurst had
one
the
go.
potential. Hurst had the potential, but yeah, I like.
He was our first round pick. He was our first round pick. He was picked before Lamar.
Yeah,
in the first
I
round.
remember that because you got straight back to Lamar, but players outside the quarterbacks, outside Purdy, like what guy, like what kind of like sleeper name are we expecting maybe to make a play or two that changes the course of the game? That's not a quarterback. That's not Debo. That's not Brandon. I want like a kind of underlying guy.
Yeah, Kadarius Toney. Watch out for him. I mean, he's getting roasted in the media and all that.
And he had a touchdown last year in the Super Bowl.
My God.
Yeah, I think he played really good in the Super Bowl last year. I mean, if he catches the ball, he is electric
That's
with
the
the ball in
problem.
his hands.
Is he even going to be active?
Actually, I wouldn't even say if he catches the ball. If he stays onside.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm telling you right now, Willie Gay. I think having Willie Gay back, that's going to be key. I think he's going to make a difference. He's going to be playing out there. He's healthy. He wasn't going to play. He said if it was, the game was last weekend against the Ravens, he couldn't play. I think having Willie Gay out there, matching up with maybe George Kittle, controlling maybe Purdy's scrambling ability, I think Willie Gay is going to be
That's what I'm saying. Like, what do you think that Willie Gay is going to do against this team? Do you think that Purdy's legs are that big of a difference in this game? I mean,
his scrambling ability.
I could see why having Willie Gay last game would have been a big deal, but in this game, I mean, I don't think that Purdy's running ability is going to be the reason why they win. Yes, he's a good scrambler, but is Willie Gay going to really play that great of coverage on Kittle? I don't know about Willie Gay being that guy.
I think he's athletic enough to make a difference. He's going to be there. He's going to make key tackles. He's not going to miss tackles. That's the problem with the Lions. They missed a lot of tackles in the second half. And this Chiefs team, they wrap up pretty well. Now you have Willie Gay out there with Bolton. Nick Bolton, that's a star. That's a stud. In my opinion, a very underrated linebacker in the NFL. He's not Fred Warner. He's not, fucking Patrick Queen or Roquan Smith, but he's a dog too. I think the linebacker core together. Maybe that's what I meant. Maybe the two of them together, Nick Bolton and Willie Gay together, is going to make a difference for this Chiefs defense.
Yeah, I like that. I think I'm just gonna go back to the defensive line for the 49ers. I think I'm not saying Chase Young, but I'm saying that entire unit together: Nick Bosa, Chase Young, Kevon Greenlaw, all those guys. They have to come up with some plays. They have to control the line of scrimmage, and I think that's going to be the big game that I'm watching. The game within the game that I'm going to be watching is how much are they going to be able to control the gaps in the run game, and how much are they going to be able to put Mahomes in pressure situations without allowing him to run in space, because that's what he's going to look to do. I mean, we all know, I think Patrick Mahomes is probably the most underrated and probably the best scrambler in playoff history. I mean, the way that he runs in pressure situations, and he'll just run a 50-yard run for some dumbass reason, and he gets down the field and it's crazy, but he just does it.
That's the Titans.
So,
Titans will tell you that one. The AFC Championship.
Yep.
Doc, any other kind of like sleepers that we need to keep an eye on for like player wise?
I think I'm with Allen on this one. I mean, that defensive line for the Niners is going to be huge. I think that containing the biggest focus is going to be containing Patrick Mahomes. If you can keep him between the hashes, keep him from scrambling and making those big time moves, those magic Mahomes moves that we've seen carry him through the playoffs and in key moments of the season. So I think it's kind of that same, what they did to Lamar in the AFC Championship game. You kind of keep him contained and force him to be a quarterback. Not that Mahomes is not a good quarterback, but by taking away the time to let plays develop and make magic happen, I think is going to make a big difference on this KC offense.
Yeah, because I think what you do when you do that is you force the wide receivers to be wide receivers. It's a little bit different. It's very much like you're saying with Lamar Jackson, right? You're forcing him to be a quarterback, but I think
Same
at
concept,
this point,
just different results.
Yeah, you're forcing the wide receivers to catch the ball because that's the biggest weakness of this offense is those guys making plays down the field. You want to take away those close screen plays. You want to take away those short yardage gains and force them to have to throw the intermediate route passes, and hopefully their guys can make those catches. If we're talking at the end of the game, are we betting on MVS catching that pass or are we betting on Brandon Ayuk? I think we'd all take Brandon Ayuk, right?
Yeah, I'll take Ayuk.
I might.
Yep.
I might.
But the thing is, like Doc was saying, though, like if Mahomes can scramble, he is the best quarterback when it comes to street football, like backyard style football. And that's why Andy Reid loves Patrick Mahomes. That's something McNabb did a little bit in his career, but Mahomes is 100 times better the athlete and the type of backyard style football that McNabb ever was. And Vic's different because Vic could run, but I think Mahomes' throwing ability with his legs, it's such a crazy ability because that's where the receivers – because if a quarterback's scrambling, we know it's hard for a corner to guard a receiver for 10, 12 seconds down the field because they're just going to get open. It's just the way it happens. You know, you can't hold them. You can't pass – I mean, you can. It's just going to be a flag, but it's harder for the corners to do that for so long. They have to get to Mahomes quick. Nick Bosa, Hargrave, Chase Young better show some fucking goddamn effort out there because – that Gibbs touchdown was pathetic. He could have had him 2 times, and he just gave up on the play. They have to get to Mahomes quick. They have to stop the run. It's just the pressure's on the Niners. I mean, telling you, like Luke, I agree with Luke. This Niners team, man, it's pressure.
Yeah, I just feel like the Niners. We talk about pressure on them, yes, but as far as them giving pressure, I'm going back to this defensive line because they don't blitz. 18% this year. I mean, that is a stark low percentage of blitzes on the year, and teams not able to get pressure on the quarterback. What else are they doing? They've got to be in coverage at that point. But are you going to sit there and run a zone defense on Patrick Mahomes? Like he's going to pick that apart.
They better not.
Kelsey will find those pockets.
That's Kelsey's bread and butter. Put Kelsey in the zone. He'll find the open spots in the zone.
11, 12 yards, first down. Just keep going.
Hey, watch Kelsey run routes. He doesn't make any cuts. He is running S's out there trying to find open spots.
Now another thing that's like not really talked about a lot, but Brock Purdy is one of the better quarterbacks in the league against the blitz. Like, and that is something that is weird to say from a second-year quarterback. And I was beating up Brock Purdy all year long. He's got this great team around him, but you do beat down on some of these advanced metrics, and he's fairly good against the blitz. He's one of the better in the league. And the Kansas City Chiefs blitz 32.9%. And that
the Chiefs are also good against the quarterback when they do blitz too. They're both good at what they do. Yeah. So it's which one is going to be the better one this game? Like, is the Chiefs going to make the stop, or is it going to be more Purdy, or is it going to be a balanced attack? Like, can Purdy make some plays? And they're both good at what they do. So that's why they're there. And I think another underlying guy that we're not talking about is Spags, Steve Spagnuolo. We've seen Alan. You know him twice in the Super Bowl, right? The Giants, and he's done it with the Chiefs. He knows when to call a defense. He knows how to call a defense. He is a master genius out there. I get it, not a great head coach, but defense play caller. The man's good. The Chiefs aren't loaded with superstars, but they play great as a unit. They play great. They play as superstars together. Yeah. They're not just one guy. I get Chris Jones is Chris Jones. I'm not going to take that from Chris Jones, but McDuffie's pretty good.
Kind of one guy. Kind of. Not
two
completely,
guys.
But kind of.
Two guys. I'll give Kelsey.
Well, depends which Kelsey shows up.
Playoff Kelsey's.
Playoff Kelsey's different.
Playoff Kelsey is different. He is BILT built different.
Yeah, big play trap. But boys,
Pacheco's coming on pretty good too. Like he's he is a very physical runner for his size because he's not a big dude, but he runs fucking hard.
He wants to hit you. He's knees to his chest, and he's lowering the helmet.
Who
And he's trying
Pacheco
to run
reminds
you
me
over.
of? A lot of people don't remember him very much, but I remember him because he was a Tennessee running back in college. But Jamal Lewis from the Ravens, his first year when Jamal Lewis was there, bro, he never fell backwards. He never got tackled backwards his first year. It was a crazy stat. He just was hitting holes so fast and hard. Guys were not wanting to tackle him. He was a beast.
Well, I mean, he's not Derrick Henry, but it's the same running style Derrick Henry has. Like Derrick Henry, you give him the ball, he's going to fall forward for at least 2.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, he's from the hole. He's so big, he'll just fall forward. Or kind of how like early Zeke was. Like Zeke was very physical in his early years with the Cowboys.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
Now he's just kind of.
But boys, it's. He had a decent. I think as a number 2 running back last year, he did decent. He did decent. But boys, it's time. Chris and Jake gave me their predictions. Chris has the Chiefs 27-21. Patrick Mahomes as the MVP. Of course, our 49er faithful Jake Winnikine has got his team 31-28. Brock Purdy as his MVP. So who are our Super Bowl winners? Score. I want the score here. And our MVP.
I'll go last.
Start us off.
I'll save the best.
I'll start us off. So I'm going KC 34-24 with I'm putting Mahomes with Kelsey as a close second for MVP.
You get 34-24. You have a 10-point game.
Yeah.
Do they pull away late, or are they consistently around that like threshold 10 points most of the game?
I think they finish it off. Like they go up 10 in the fourth. I think they consistently lead the game. I think they get the ball. I think they probably score first. I'm looking at throwing a prop bet for Kelsey first touchdown. So
that's very possible. There, it's very possible.
So, I'm looking at throwing that prop bet. I'm guaranteed doing an anytime touchdown for Kelsey and an anytime touchdown for CMC. So, but
2 safe bets. So I'll give you that one.
Really leaning on the first touchdown, Kelsey.
Well, I'm going to go the Kansas City Chiefs. I have a closer game than you, Luke. I have the Kansas City Chiefs 27-20. I'm coming close to putting Pacheco. I'm going against my Niners. I'm going against my Niners bet here because I had the Niners before the playoffs, but I didn't realize that Mahomes was going to be here. I thought the Bills could knock him off. But I'm going to go the Kansas City Chiefs 27-20. I'm very close to putting Pacheco as MVP. I think the problem, though, is he's going to have a fumble somewhere in the game, probably the second quarter. But he's going to have 2 overall touchdowns. I think he'll have a receiving and a rushing touchdown. But I have Mahomes going like 29 or 40 for 300-plus yards, 2 passing touchdowns, no turnovers. The only turnover for the Chiefs will be the Pacheco fumble. I think Purdy will have an interception somewhere in the game, and I think he'll have a fumble as well. I think he'll have a strip sack. So I think that Purdy's going to not struggle, but he's going to have 2 turnovers that are going to kind of be the difference makers there. The Chiefs defense is going to play up. They're going to step up this game. And I expect it to be close throughout the game. I think the Chiefs will score the last 2 minutes. The game will go to Purdy's hand. And I think that's where the fumble happens. I think the fumble will be the last play for the 49ers offense this year. And then you'll start questioning Brock Purdy for 2024 and 2025. So people will start doing that. It won't be me.
One little fucking
mistake. Allen will do it. I guarantee Allen will be in the summertime. Be questioning Brock Purdy. He'll be like, well, he had 2 turnovers. He had a chance to go tie the game with Mahomes. And then he fumbled the ball. He got hit and fumbled the ball with his little baby-ass hands. Same size as Mahomes. Baby-ass hands. But
you got baby hands, dude.
I got Mahomes going here, getting his 3rd Super Bowl in his first 7 seasons. Starting to open that conversation now. If he could play another fucking 16 years like Tom Brady, what will happen? But that's a story for another day. But I got Patrick Mahomes going here, 27-20. Go Chiefs.
Yep. Well, I got I've been saying it pretty much all year long. I said it at the beginning of the year. 49ers are the most talented
team. He called it
team.
Again in Week 16 when he changed up his Super Bowl predictions.
Hey, you're right. No, but the 49ers, I said it, at the beginning of the year when I picked them to make it to the Super Bowl against the Bengals, who got injured. They let me change my pick because they got injured. All right, but
we'll give you that. 'Cause I have the Jets, so I know. I feel you there.
Right?
But
okay.
But I lost Aaron Rodgers week 1 in the first
Yeah.
4 plays. So
The Bengals are better after the injury, anyways.
Oh, okay, that's tough. That's a tough call. All right, I'm sensing a little bias, but I'm going. I
No,
think the Niners.
Browning had better stats than Burrow.
Okay, I'm done.
He
We're
did.
not gonna.
Browning did. Browning
I'm
did
not
low
doing this.
key.
I'm not doing
Browning
this.
might have actually played better than Burrow. I'm not saying he earned the
did.
spot, but
Okay, you know what? I think both of you should take Browning on your team. Okay.
Let's go.
All right. I got
Look at his numbers.
Hey, I got the Niners. I think the Niners are the best team in the league. We look at they're all pros. I had the Niners. I just think they got 12 all pros on the team, and they're the most balanced across all teams. They can pass the ball, they can run the ball. On defense, they can play good pass defense. I know they gave up big plays, but they can play good pass defense. They can get to the quarterback. They can stop the run. And I just think that it's going to be a great game. But I think that we're going to see the limitations of the Chiefs' offense in this game. Mahomes is going to put up a Mahomes Herculean game, right? But you're going to see the
gonna do what he does.
limitations of the receivers in this game. I think Rice will probably have a decent game. Travis Kelce will have a monster game, but all the other guys will just they're going to be drop passes. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be issues. I don't think that Pacheco is going to be able to run the ball on the Niners because I do think that Fred Warner is going to have a big impact on this game. I think that that defensive line is going to stop the gaps. And as I said earlier, the Chiefs are one of the worst teams in the league with yards after contact. And I think that the Niners wrap up very well. Also, just a quick stat: the Niners are second best in the league with only 69 missed tackles. So that's second in the league. And I just think that they're the better team. Score wise, I'm a little bit iffy on this one. I think I'm going to go 24-20 Niners. MVP, I'm gonna
Purdy.
MVP. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go McCaffrey, bro. I'm gonna go McCaffrey.
Since 2000, it's not been a strictly just a QB award. We've had some linebackers there. We've had a couple of receivers, so it's not like the National Football League MVP where it's normally a quarterback. So linebackers and receivers do win it.
Yeah,
and maybe a running back wins it.
I mean, I could see Debo, if he has a big game on the ground and catches a few good passes, he gets like 4 for 82 yards receiving, and he gets like 10 carries for maybe he gets like 6 carries, I don't know, for like 80 yards. He gets a total of 150 yards and maybe a touchdown. I can see Debo winning it, but I think it's going to be Christian McCaffrey because I think that the Niners unlocked something in that second half last week. They realized stop bullshitting around and give the ball to your best fucking player. And Christian McCaffrey went the hell off. And I think that they're going to do the same thing in this game because they know that he is the matchup nightmare for the Chiefs right now.
Doc?
I'm torn here. I know who I want to win. I know who I'm rooting for. I know who I think is going to win. But I think the biggest difference maker is going to be the fact that Mahomes has been here, knows how to handle this atmosphere and this pressure. Purdy does not. A lot of the folks on this team does not. It's not going to change where I stand, but that's my biggest concern going into it. I'm taking the Niners 27-24. I think that the weapons that the Niners have on offense stands up to that Kansas City defense, and I think that their defense holds true with the Kansas City offense. I think the pressure coming from both the edges on that Niners front puts Mahomes in a position where he's got to make quick plays, and quite frankly, the Chiefs don't have the weapons on offense to do that. The biggest thing that the Chiefs have seen success from is having that time, Patrick Mahomes scrambling, making those fucking wild circus plays, creating the shit in his own. You know what I mean? This is not stuff that develops naturally, and I think that's what carries the Chiefs, and I think that the Niners defense is going to come and make a difference to that. So I'm going to take the Niners 27-24, my MVP, because I think he's going to get fucked in the regular season MVP award, but I'm taking my boy CMC because what he has done all season long, and this is what I spoke to earlier about the Niners sticking with the game plan, going with what they know works. Feed my man, let him find the end zone, let him do what he does.
Doc's
He's
putting
going
a
to be your
big bet on.
MVP.
Doc's putting a big bet on Chris McCaffrey. I can't wait to hear the bet that he throws in there. You got to tell me that bet before. Oh, you got to text it because, yeah.
I'm
I would
taking
not
a
be surprised.
minimum 80 yards rushing.
I would not be surprised if the Niners come out first 3 passes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm worried about. Are we doing what we've seen all playoffs long, though, and changing the game plan from what we know works?
That digs into my storyline. The biggest storyline is Kyle Shanahan versus Kyle Shanahan. It's not Shanahan versus Andy Reid. To me, it's the biggest storyline. I've been saying it. Is Shanahan versus Shanahan. Do we see the Shanahan that is the master play caller, or do we see the egotistical, hey, this is my quarterback, let me show you how I can win with him? I tried with Jimmy G, didn't work. Tried with Trey Lance, it didn't work, and now I'm here with Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
so
but listen, Christian McCaffrey. Go ahead.
Yeah, if they go 3 and out on 3 pass plays to start off the game, game's over. I'm not gonna trust Shanahan to do shit.
Yeah, especially if they get the ball first. Then they go 3 and out. Chiefs come out, score a touchdown. I mean, that's just gonna be That's just gonna be that same thing that's gonna happen. Now we're gonna get the same questions. Shanahan's gonna start playing this own game inside of his head. He's gonna be playing chess against chess, and he's like over here, just play checkers, dude. Give the ball to your best guy. Since joining,
just do what you fucking know,
dude. Since joining the Niners, all right. Listen to this. Since joining the Niners, Christian McCaffrey has over 20 games. All right, he's played in 20 games. 3,000 yards total and 31 total touchdowns.
Just give him the ball. That's all you got to do. Just give him the ball.
Just give him the ball.
I'm pretty sure he's got more touchdowns this year than some quarterbacks do, all right?
Oh, yeah. No.
Probably does.
This year, he's got 21 total touchdowns. He was tied in the league with Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, but no, boys, we're split down the middle. 3 Chiefs, 3 49ers. Me, Luke, and Chris, we're on Patrick Mahomes, and yourself, Alan, Doc, and Jake, all on the Niners. And 3 Mahomes MVPs, 2 CMCs, and a Purdy. So I still stand by if the Niners win. I think Fred Warner is my sneaky MVP, but I didn't pick the Niners. But that's who I think would win if the Niners win. But any big plans for it? Like with parties, what are we doing here, boys? Like it's the Super Bowl. What kind of spreads we having? Like what kind of food, what kind of drinks? What are we doing? It's a Super Bowl.
Honestly, I'm going to do my usual. I mean, I'm going to make my homemade pico de gallo, which is fucking – I can't say what I want to say to describe it. But the shit's great. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm probably gonna cook up some great – I don't know. I might just do a bunch of apps, dude. Honestly, I might just fucking – might just fry some wings. Might just do – that's what I'm saying. Just eat all day long.
Make yourself –
buffalo chicken dip.
My wife hit me
buffalo
with a
chicken
fucking – my wife hit me with a kid's birthday party for Saturday. And I was like, do we have anything for Sunday? And she's like, why? Like, are you serious? Whatever we have. Yeah, I don't care if it's bypass surgery scheduled for Sunday. Like, cancel that shit. You know what I'm saying? Super Bowl's here.
We'll go Monday.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, we'll go Monday.
Exactly.
The only problem is, though, like, everybody left. And with my current job, like, I don't meet military people anymore. So I don't really,
that makes sense.
Nobody's coming over.
Yeah.
Doc, I'd come up to you, but
it's gonna be well. Cody's here. Cody's still here, so it's just gonna be. It's gonna be a lonely Sunday. But dude, fuck it. I'm gonna put the spread out. I'm gonna put the spread out like the whole world is coming over, and we're gonna throw everything away the next day.
Bro, that's what I do every Sunday. Right. Okay, all right. I'll just make an appetizer tray of like a million things, and then I'll snack on it the rest of the week. Fuck it.
And I'm not gonna lie, dude. I don't know if y'all know this about me, but like I'm a monster chef, dude.
Facts.
I'm on the jersey this
year. Davis, you remember when I gave you steak?
I also don't remember.
Well, actually, you probably don't remember. Yeah, you were probably drunk as shit.
I was always hammered at your house. Luke,
true.
You going to Nashville?
No, I don't think so. I think it's going to be too busy at all the sports bars down there. Plus, they all have fucking cover charges and shit, so it's like $200 to get in. I'm gonna pass. I'll probably just chill at the house. Get some buffalo mac and cheese, buffalo chicken mac and cheese going on. So probably just chill at the house, make some ranch waters.
Ooh.
Actually, make ranch waters, not that canned shit.
Yeah, I was just saying, when you sent me that, I was like, I've seen ranch waters. I was like,
nah, not that shit. That's just trash. Make your own ranch waters. Just fucking mineral water, tequila, and a little bit of lime.
Well, Luke, you know what I'll be drinking. You know what I'll be drinking on the cruise line?
Sounds like any
Oh, yeah,
bar in
fucking-
Germany you go to as an American. They water that shit down.
Now Luke knows I'll be drinking from
Nah,
Frog Islands, boy.
Ranch water's that Texas shit. That's what they drink down there. It's like pretty common in Texas, but nobody up fucking Tennessee knows what it is, so can't order it at bars.
Davis, come
Yeah.
home this summer, dude, and I will show you a thing or two about cooking, dude.
Well, don't say come home. That's say my first military home. That ain't home.
Oh.
That's what
Oh,
home is.
okay.
Yeah, home is where you started, where I know you from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'll learn you a thing or two about cooking. I'll teach you something, dude. I'm a beast in the kitchen, dude.
Alan, any big plans?
Nah, man. I think Mardi Gras. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna spend some time with the buds. We're gonna go out to St. Louis, get into some shit, man. Have some good times, and then Sunday I'm gonna chill by myself. I'm definitely gonna drink. I'll probably have some Blue Moon and a bourbon with me. So, you know, I go to the Blue Moon, and then I graduate to the bourbon as the night goes on, and then if I'm getting busy, all right, then I hit them with the little Hennessy shot at the end of the night. All right, that's the nightcap is the Hennessy shot right at the end. All right.
All right. Now, yeah, I'll be on a cruise ship, boys. I'll leave Friday, get back Monday. I'll be drinking Long Islands, and whatever fucking buffet's open, I'll have my. Luke knows I'll have my dinner. I find a way to dinner. Doesn't matter how drunk I am. I will stumble my way to dinner, grab my plate. I'll eat real quick. I'll go back to the pool deck area. Whatever I'm wearing, I'm gonna be dressed into the nines that night. I'm gonna have my fucking buffet ready to go. My Long Islands on deck, and I'm ready to go. Ready to watch the game. It won't be on CBS for me because I guess International Waters, it's ESPN's product. So not sure if Joe Buck and Troy Aikman are calling the game, but it's some type of
God, I
ESPN.
hope not. They are, but I hope.
Does it really fucking matter because we're all gonna be partying out there anyway. So like probably hearing the game is
Hey.
gonna be a nightmare as it is, but it's gonna be a good
We're all
time.
looking forward to next year when Tom Brady calls the Super Bowl. Okay.
So to give you all some insight on how long,
I think it's
Mark has
NBC
been-
No,
next
next
year.
year is Fox.
No, it's Fox.
It is Fox.
Yep,
So
Tom
NBC
Brady's
was
Fox.
last year?
And it's gonna
NBC was
be
last year?
gonna be in New Orleans, which is the stadium that Tom Brady won his first Super Bowl, which will be his first Super Bowl calling.
That wasn't his first. That wasn't the stadium because remember that Katrina blew the stadium apart, so they built a new stadium.
Yeah.
City,
give
city,
you-
but
To give you an idea how long Mark has been slamming Long Islands and ruining his life, making
it started with Luke actually. It started with Luke and Chris actually. Long Island's when I started drinking them on the first
but
cruise.
Just to give you an idea, when did you leave Jersey, Mark?
2019, the
2019.
wintertime.
It is 2024, and I still have a bottle of Long Island mix sitting in the bottom of my bar that Mark left in my Lumberton house.
I used to bring like all this shit for it.
You used to bring the mixer because it came in the
I used to
mixer
bring
shit, and you just had to dump it with the alcohol. And I still got a bottle of your mixer shit because I packed it up from Lumberton and put it in storage.
Yeah,
Because we
all
moved
five
in here.
liquors were together. Yeah,
Because we
all
moved into
five
this
liquors.
house. Yeah. We moved into
All
this house in
liquors were already
2020.
mixed together. All I have to do is put a splash of Coke in there myself, and then I didn't. But that's because I already had the lemon already in there too, so I didn't have to worry about cutting
Yeah, I
lemon.
think that
But
had the
all
alcohol in it too. Yeah.
Yeah, just not the Coke. I always bought like a little 2-liter Coke or some cans and just poured a little,
Bro, that
Gatorade like I
shit
do
was
for the.
that shit. We moved into this house in 2020 because you left it at the Lumberton house, and I packed up everything. It's sitting in the cabinet under the bar. Been there since I moved in 2020, and I'm like, one day Mark's gonna come home. And you know the shit's still good because it's got alcohol in it. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? The shit's still good.
No.
So
It'll probably be
one
good
day
still,
Mark's
yeah.
gonna come home, and I'm gonna have his Long Island shit for him.
But boys, great show. Can't wait to be back Monday to recap the winter. But it's time to go, and
Right here.
it's time to head out. Get ready for the Super Bowl. Get ready for my cruise, boys. Have a safe weekend. Can't wait to be back here again with y'all. Shout out to you, Toby Keith. You are a legend, an American of its own.
Rip.
I'm Mark Davis. That's Luke Rule. That's Nick Knox Skirkwins. That's Alan Tomasello. Good luck to you, Jake. Shout out to you, Chris. Good luck to the Niners. Good luck to the Chiefs. We are out.
Oh, Niners, baby!
Thank you for checking out another episode of All About the Balls podcast. We want to thank all of our listeners and supporters of the Sack House. You can listen to the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at the Sack House.